All right, everyone. Welcome to the Grow Call today, April 4th. We've got some exciting updates. Marius, we have updated to using our link on this. So this is our first community call using our link. Everyone, as you come in, please mute yourselves, and that way we don't have a ton of background noise. Today, we are going to give a lot of exciting updates for Grow, particularly around how we communicate and engage with the community and with each other in the things that we are working on and the things that we have coming up, and how we can all help each other grow. There'll be a lot of grow puns in this because a big piece of what we're doing right now is moving into bringing the blockchain to the world. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go through some slides here today. Beautiful. All right. So everyone can see my screen. Neil, we got my screen. Give me a thumbs up. I can see your face. All right.
You got it.
All right, guys, welcome to the community call today. I want to remind us all of the vision of what we are doing with Grow and the Grow blockchain. Our mission and vision is to decentralize the global ag and farming industry. And what that looks like as a visual representation is going from the left to the right. In most business systems today, particularly in the food and ag sector, everything is very centralized. It's either government centralization or company centralization, and very large, not for profit companies. If you guys aren't muted, make sure you mute yourselves. And so everything points back to that centralized system. The blockchain side looks like the visual on the right, where every single one of those colored dots is a creator or a user or someone that's in the platform doing something. And so many of you on this call are a node owner, and that node runs the blockchain. With just that node being activated is what allows all of this to exist. And we've spent the last year and a half getting more and more and more nodes activated. As of right now, we have just over 25,000 active nodes all over the world. And that continues to grow on a monthly basis and will continue to grow until we reach the max of 100,000 nodes. As we do this, we're moving into different stages of growth within our community. And so today we're going to talk about those stages of growth and specific ways of how we're going to communicate that and what we need as a community. Because when you come back to this slide, in a centralized system, everything kind of looks and points back to what's happening in the center. On a blockchain system, it's what's happening at every single point. And every single one of those points is everyone on this call, everyone running a node, and anyone that interacts and transacts on the blockchain. And we need every single one of us to start extending that matrix out to get more and more colored dots all over the world helping us to create transactions, because that is what is going to create value for the blockchain. So here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover recent achievements, updates that things have happened, community engagement updates, the Grow United media and content plan, our roadmaps, and we've got we did a swap contest winner, which we're going to announce today. So here's some recent updates. One, on the Grow blockchain, we have had a lot of growth in our real world token utility through the NourishMart. So for those of you that have ordered from thenourishmart.com, you've gotten food. If you go back to that website, if you haven't been there, it's www.thenourishmart.com. We are consistently adding vendors. We're adding vendors in multiple countries all over the world with the goal to have every single country and continent covered to be able to use your Grow token in exchange for food. We are also expanding our vision, local action to global connection. We've had a lot of global growth, and we see this from just where our website visitors are coming from and also the events and nodes that are coming online. Neil's going to talk a little bit later today about our global events and how that's going to come. And then also we have our new swap feature. So this is a very exciting tech update that I want to show everyone that launched about 2 weeks ago. Inside of our Grow account is the ability to actually buy or swap for Grow directly in your account. So for those of you that are familiar with the crypto space, before this, you had to go to a decentralized exchange or a DeFi exchange like Uniswap, bring in your Ethereum, then go and swap, have your MetaMask or wallet set up and go do it. Well, now we can circumvent all of that, and we can do it exactly in our Grow account. And so big shout out to Jacqueline TD Houghton. Hopefully I'm saying that right. You are our swap winner. And so we will reach out to you on your prize there. But I want to show you, all of you, exactly how this works. So in your Grow account, when you grow into your Grow account, you can see your active nodes, you can see your rewards. This is how you are going to swap. So if you go into your wallet, you can look at, you have your Grow rewards, your Bitcoin, Ethereum, your USDC, and Tether. The one thing you will need is you will need Ethereum into your Grow account. So when you have Ethereum, you can do that in Coinbase or whatever on-ramp, off-ramp, or wallet that you have. You need to transfer Ethereum into your Grow wallet. And once you have Ethereum in here, you can see here I transferred just a little bit of Ethereum here this morning, and I click on the Ethereum button. And when I'm in Ethereum, you guys can actually see I swapped this morning as a test transaction about $15 worth of Ethereum. But I'm going to do it right now to show everyone how it works. So again, from the top, I go to my wallet. I've got Ethereum in here. If I need to send Ethereum into the wallet, I just hit this receive button. I copy my wallet address. I take that into the wallet I have Ethereum in, and I send Ethereum into this wallet. Now, when I'm ready to buy Grow or swap for Grow, I hit the swap button here, and then I put the amount of ETH in. So let's say I want to do, let's do 0.02 ETH. So I've got $35 of ETH. Then I come down to this section right here where it says buy, and I'm going to click on Grow. You can also swap for USDC or USDT if you need, but let's click on Grow. And now it's going to take a second, and it's going to calculate how much Grow I can get based off today's market. So right now, for about 35 bucks, I can get almost 32,000 Grow. I put in my wallet passcode, which all of your wallet passcodes for security reasons should be different than your Grow account passcode. And I'm going to confirm this. So this is going to take just a second. And we're going to let that load. And right now, what this is doing is it's actually connecting to the DeFi exchanges, and it's going in to swap my Ethereum from my Grow wallet into Grow. And then it's going to put it directly into my wallet. Why is this exciting? So when you look at the utility of the Grow token, one of the things that increases the utility, which then increases the price of that token, is the amount of people that hold it and buy it and use it. And so now we have the ability in a Grow account to let people buy Grow directly out of the market, which then shows up on everything that happens in the market. So when you look at CoinMarketCap, or you go to Uniswap, or different ways that you can look at the price of the Grow token, this is how that this is one of the ways that that price is affected. And so imagine if, as a community, we could go and teach people how to set up a Grow account, get Ethereum, and swap that Ethereum for a little bit of Grow. If we had 100 people a day doing that, I would venture to say that we would be one of the fastest growing projects in the world and the #1 ag-related blockchain in the world. And so you see here, as I was talking, that swap initiated. So you can see the transaction hash. I can come here. I can confirm that that was sent. And if I want to confirm that it hit my wallet, I can go back to my wallet. I can go into my Grow, which, let me just confirm here. This is my Grow native rewards. This Grow right here is my ERC20 rewards. So these have been bridged to the Ethereum network. And you can see right here, just barely on April 4th at 9:40, I received another 32,000 Grow. And so it worked. It came through, took about a minute and a half, and all of that is done. And so I'm going to come back and end this today. But this process, this is the action. If you have the question in your head, how can I help Grow? You can help Grow and the blockchain by getting more people into the chain, more people into the network, by setting up their account, getting their wallet, and becoming holders of Grow, which is a significantly easier process than it would have been otherwise, and you can do it directly from your Grow account. So let me come back here. Okay, now we're going to move into community growth. So I just showed you the tactical thing that we can do that gets people into our community and onto the blockchain. Here is our goal. As a reminder, I work with Grow United, as does Neil, and as does our team. Grow United is a company separate from the blockchain that spends its time and its focus on building utility and projects on the blockchain. The blockchain is a decentralized ecosystem and technology that is owned and operated and ran by the community members. That community and the connection between Grow United, as we work on those projects, as we work on that utility, we want to communicate with you. We want you to know what is happening. We want to keep you up to date on all of the things that are happening in the blockchain as we live, eat, and breathe it 24/7. So what we commit to you to strengthen our community connection is improved communication flow, to be clear, consistent, and transparent on the things that are happening with a weekly rhythm of updates and content. And the way that we are going to do that is we're going to update the way we do our current podcast. So myself and Neil are committed to showing up with you, for you, every single week on that podcast with action-based content. And so the structure of that podcast, if you're unaware, you can go to any podcast platform, also on YouTube, and you can search the Grow Renaissance. There will now be 2 weekly podcast episodes. One of them I will do at the beginning of the week, and at the end of the week, Neil will do that. And so I will cover blockchain utility and regenerative tech, and anything that I am working on or involved in or hear of that is happening on the blockchain or could be inside of our community. I will also be bringing on guests, subject matter experts, to be able to talk about how we can leverage this tech in our community today and in the future. So this platform is here to uplift us and spotlight what we're doing and will be your base for weekly updates. The next piece of that is going into our Discord and other social media channels. As we combine what we're doing with the podcast and our other channels following this format, we'll be able to update you and then bring those into the community calls that we will do live with specific community actions and things that are happening and ways we can grow the blockchain together. If you'd like to be a guest or you know someone who would be a really, really good fit to help us grow the network or be on that podcast, please reach out to us and we'll be on it. I'm going to turn the time over to Neil a little bit to talk about his piece and some of the stuff that he's going to bring to the podcast.
Fantastic. Thanks, Will. And great to see everyone that's here. Thanks for joining us today. Really excited about Pastor Primetime. Is going to be the segment that I do everything regenerative, earth management. Really, we're going to be talking about the highlights that are happening in our food and agriculture sector, how we continue to have in-field work align and start to on-ramp into this wonderful blockchain ecosystem that we're building. A lot of my guests are going to be farmers, ranchers, agribusinesses. So if you're thinking of folks that might be up for a good discussion around any of those important topics, nutrient density in food, where we can access good food, please, as Will mentioned, get them in touch with us, and we'd love to sit down and have a great engagement. So be on the lookout for Pastor Primetime and Will's segment all around regenerative tech, blockchain, and how to build utility.
Amazing. Thanks, Dale. So I just want to hit this really quickly. So what's next and how you can plug in. Keep the dialogue alive. Be on the weekly calls. Be on the podcast. Connect with us in Discord. And I'm going to talk about a new platform here in a minute. And then invite your friends, farmers, builders, and dreamers. This is what we need. As we continue to increase the amount of content and consistency in how we communicate, sharing those things with our friends, giving them a free Grow account and wallet is what is going to help us grow the network. Our feedback channels will be open. Our goal is to build this with you. Neil, myself, Cindy, Owen, our team, we could sit down and brainstorm all kinds of ideas, that we think will be helpful. But as you all have questions, as you all get questions from people about Grow, about the blockchain, share those with us, because that is what we will create content around and what we will create actions that the blockchain can reward in order to do that. So I'm going to turn it back to Neil for a couple of from the field updates. And I want to, before Neil takes over, I want to make a really cool distinction in something that Neil has really brought to Grow. And for those of you that have known Neil since he's come, we really have two segments of people that come into the Grow community. You have people who care about the environment and the world, want to see it be a better place, like the blockchain and are interested in it, want to know where their food comes from and eat it. I think most of us fall into that camp in one way or another. The other side of that avatar is people that care about all those things, but also go one step deeper than most of us, and they're an actual producer inside of those sectors. They're either an agriculture, they're a farmer, they're a producer, or they're an ag business. And as Neil has come in with his background and his expertise, he's been able to link what's happening on the blockchain with that vision and mission and connect it to those producers and the businesses that are currently trying to nourish the world and bring them together into the blockchain. And so, Neil, I'll let you take it away with some of your from the field updates and what's happening in that sector.
Fantastic. Thanks, Will. Agriculturalists are innovators by trade, and I think this is why I'm so excited about linking our Grow ecosystem with everything that we're doing in the field. I thought I would continue to highlight why we do the important work in the field and why we need to link it to the blockchain with a couple of insights this week. I was reading a study, a 10-year-old study, a 10-year study that has been underway from the USDA, showing that the integration of livestock, which is one of the wonderful mechanisms to help us regenerate our land and ecosystems, along with native grasses, some cover cropping techniques, and increasing soil organic matter, increases the retention of water by up to 30%. That really helps us in drought situations and create resiliency in our ecosystems. Of course, water is one of those wonderful mechanisms that we very much need in the production and raising of everything on the farm and in our land. On the food side, and something that I pay a lot of attention to, and probably two pieces of food that we don't spend enough time talking about, spinach and carrots. So there's a wonderful institute that does a lot of wonderful research, the Bionutrient Institute, and they say within the studies that they've done that growing spinach and carrots in a regenerative system, really the hardest system of systems to put together, increases calcium, magnesium, and zinc by 5 times over the conventionally grown versions of these two products. So if you're at a farmer's market, if you're in your grocer, if you're accessing spinach or carrots from any of our vendors on the Nourish Mart, grown in a regenerative way, it's going to increase calcium, magnesium, and zinc by 5 times. Just really interesting facts I thought I'd bring forward. Want to continue to educate what we do in field with why we need to capture this information, put it into the blockchain, and share it amongst our community and the abroad. I want to highlight the Nourish Mart. It is one of those tools that continues to add value. I really encourage everyone on this call, get your friends, family, to check out the vendors on the Nourish Mart. Use the swap feature. I'd start using some of those Grow tokens to go purchase product from our vendors, support those vendors. I also want to welcome Code Health as a new vendor to our Nourish Mart. They're a wonderful group out of Florida, and they've just launched their storefront. They've got some really unique health products, both for human and animals, increasing our metabolic health. And of course, we need to take care of our health as well as the ecosystems and the products that we're raising and growing. So if you haven't seen the publications and announcements on our social media channels, please go check those out. But let's give a big warm welcome to Code Health as they launch their storefront on the Nourish Mart. Some of the other interesting pieces that I want to highlight, we are underway. One of the applications that we've built as a foundational application on the Grow ecosystem is a application called Kohima. That is the work that I undertake in field, setting up regenerative systems. So we have a research project going on right now with one of our grow farms, integrating livestock, native grasses, cover crop species to improve soil health so that we can put those pastures into potato rotations and reduce the amount of inputs that we need to use to grow those potatoes. The idea is to leave nutrients in the soil, so after the potatoes have grown and we've harvested them, we can put that pasture right back into a growing life cycle again and put cattle back out there. So this is a really fun, important research project. We're going to collect all that data. It's going to be in the blockchain. We're going to demonstrate how we can trace all of this information. The other wonderful announcement I want to make is that we have recently just brought on our very first Midwest farmer to our grow ecosystem. And he's excited to work with both Kohima and the grow ecosystem as he starts transitioning to his cropping system. He's a conventional cropper. He's doing wheat, corn, and soybeans. He's moving into regenerative practices, starting to diversify, along with another agribusiness that just joined us on the ag tech space that's going to help him with some of the baseline data collection. And of course, all of this is going to be linked to the blockchain. And we're going to follow that progress through and create some great case studies and demonstrate the power of what we can do with the blockchain. The last piece I want to talk about, NFTs. Myself and our Chief Sustainability Officer, Joe, some of you may have seen him on a Q&A session that he did on Discord. We continue to work with environmental aspects or environmental data that is linked to carbon, biodiversity, environmental impact monetization. And we have minted on our blockchain an Amazon project NFTs. These are carbon credit NFTs. So if you're in the grow market space, you're going to continue to see these environmental credits be listed on there for purchasers to buy. And I highly encourage you to continue to keep your eyes peeled on that market space for the work that Joe and myself continue to do as we continue to build this vital momentum. And last but not least, I wouldn't be doing my job effectively, I don't think, in communicating with you all without continuing to ask as a call to action, if you run into farmers and ranchers, community grow associations that want to diversify balance sheets, improve land value, or access a direct-to-consumer market like the Nourish Mart, and improve functional soil health, please get them in touch with us. We'd love to support them, and we'd love to show them how the grow ecosystem can add value to what they're already doing, both in the ecosystem, in the field, and with this emerging technology. Over to you, Will.
Amazing. Thank you, Neil. All right, so we're going to hit some upcoming roadmap launches, things that are coming here in the next 30 to 60 days that will help us all continue to grow. So the first one is a Grow, Learn to Earn platform. What is that? It's a platform where you can learn by doing, exploring, and contributing, and be rewarded in the Grow token for doing those actions. The topics that will be inside of this platform are blockchain basics, blockchain 101. I don't know how many of you have come in here and then got overwhelmed by wallet passwords and account passwords and transferring and swapping and all this new blockchain stuff. We're going to have a module completely about blockchain basics taught by community members. Regenerative systems. What are we actually doing in the world to nourish the world? How does that work? What does it look like? And how does it connect to the blockchain? Token and blockchain utility. What does that even mean? What is utility? How are we using the blockchain? How does the token have value and use cases going forward, and more? There will also be proof of action rewards. So ways to earn NFTs, badges, access to events, and real world perks. And so, for example, when you come in, when you had the blockchain basics and you watched all of those modules, you would receive a badge, which would then equal more grow rewards. So not only would you be more educated on how to help and understand what we're doing inside of the blockchain, but you also earn more grow for doing that. So right now, the working name for this is the Grow Academy. But as we talked about that, there's a lot of internal conversations of whether we like that name or not. So we're exploring something that speaks more to the Renaissance Grow spirit. And any of you that have an idea for what we should call this Grow Academy, please put it in the Discord and we'll reward whatever the best name is that we decide as a community. But this is the Grow Learn to Earn platform. This will be launching by the end of the month with our first modules and first badges available to be earned. Neil, will you talk about events?
Absolutely. So we have some amazing events coming up between now and September, actually. Myself and Will are going to be flying around the country and speaking at some amazing engagements. This weekend, I'm actually flying out to Louisiana to be at an event called Root and Rise with our partners. I want to give a big shout out to some of our Grow community members that have really helped me with some of the logistics for this event. Massive shout out for those that are cooking. Those are helping set up with the AV equipment. Those that help coordinate some of the speaking slots that we wanted to fill. This is going to be an amazing event, speaking directly to agriculturalists in Louisiana. Again, everything around how we continue to build this notion around food is health, and where Grow as an ecosystem really fits in both of these categories to help support this decentralized model that we're building and create more trust, transparency, and traceability of our data. Don't forget the blockchain can hold data, analyze data, and monetize data in a way that it really creates some mechanisms that we haven't seen before. We're going to be in Idaho. We're going to be in New York. We're going to be floating around. I'm actually potentially going down to Colombia to speak to some farmers. So be on the lookout for these event engagements. We're going to be posting them. I'm going to be capturing images and video as much as possible and sharing that with the community. And if you happen to be located around any of these events that we are hosting or speaking at and want to reach out like a lot of our community members did for Louisiana, I'd be very happy to have you join, have you engage. We can't do this alone. It really is a community effort. And so alone we go fast, together we go far.
Perfect. Thanks, Neil. And we'll be creating an events channel in Discord so that way, as we have these events and as we scale these events to not just within ourselves at Grow United, but also others having events that talk about Grow, we'll keep that updated there. So this is going to be a brief announcement from Neil. We have been working heavily for the last couple of months on a Happy Cattle NFT. And there's a lot that's exciting here. I'm just going to have Neil give a little bit of a teaser of this before it launches.
Amazing. So we have a product team that I'm working very closely with. NFT programs like the one that I'm about to speak about really bring real world utility and opportunity. It's a tool within the blockchain ecosystem that we really want to start leveraging, offering new ways to support sustainable agriculture, regenerative agriculture, rewarding buyers and participants, and strengthening transparency across the whole value chain. So this Happy Cattle program is going to start with a pilot that hopefully will be launched before the end of the year here. It's specifically geared towards raising steers so we can get some good meat into our production and our value chain. There's going to be lots of different opportunities within this program for staking and multiple different NFTs within NFTs. So it's really fun, really comprehensive, and is actually going to bring a ton of value for the ranchers that are going to be involved, as well as participants that are going to be engaged on the digital end of this. So pay attention to all our social channels for more announcements around this. I'm really excited to bring this out to the community.
Beautiful. Thank you, Neil. And as we have right now, I just read the draft of the white paper. It's about 36 pages, a very in-depth work on how we can help free ranchers from the centralized systems that we believe are currently handicapping them. And this Happy Cattle NFT program really brings a lot of the use cases of the blockchain together, from tracking, tracing, financing, getting it from the producer to the consumer as easily as possible, and eliminating as much of the unnecessary middlemen as possible. So it's very exciting. And you as our community will be the first ones to get that white paper, to get the roadmap. We will do a full community call on it. when it is ready to be released and through all of its phases of development. So what do you do now, guys? This is where we're coming to an end. We showed you today inside of the wallet how to open and collect your grow and bridge your grow. So inside of that wallet, I showed you had your native reward and then your grow. I'm going to close out again here and just show you one more time this difference. So you have your grow rewards here. And then down here, you see I have grow, this is my grow ERC20. So what everyone can do when they have grow in their wallet is you can come to your native rewards and you can bridge. And you bridge, let's say I wanted to bridge the max of what I have in here. Now I would need some Ethereum in my wallet, which I could do. I could put in my wallet passcode and then I would confirm and that would bridge all of that. The reason that's important is that gets us more bridged wallets, which is a metric that centralized exchanges and other people look at the growth of a blockchain. Then I can also swap grow directly in my Ethereum. So once I have Ethereum, I can swap Ethereum for grow, and we can help people do that. So that is the call to action. That is the thing as we look to grow our blockchain, as we look to get it listed in more places, as we look to bring different things in, we need more bridged grow wallets, and we need to get as many people as possible swapping ETH for grow and holding grow in their wallets. So here is my call to all of us is over the next week, if we can invite 5 friends to do that exact same process. And when you invite them, if I'm here at my dashboard home, right here, if I'm in my Grow wallet and I say share sign up, all I have to do is copy that link and go and share it with people. And I don't know how many people I've shared this with, but I'll look it up. And if anybody can beat me in the next month, I'll give you a good amount of Grow. If you can beat me. So go invite people. Bridge your Grow wallet. Make sure you're following us on social media at the Grow Renaissance and join the Grow Discord. Discord is where we are active. We have people in there looking at it every single day. We're going to be creating new channels in there, such as an events channel, a podcast channel, to keep you updated on all of the things that are happening inside of Grow. And to end here, I want to do a little content. So, Grow Renaissance logo contest. This is not the Grow Renaissance logo. This is something I did in AI and ChatGPT, I think, in about 20 seconds. But we are looking for a new logo, a logo that defines the Grow Renaissance for us as a community. And so we wanted to put it out to the community of who can create the best logo, the logo we can use for our podcast, the logo we could put on maybe some swag, a hat, a t-shirt. And as you send that to us, whoever we decide as a community will vote on it. We'll get Grow as a reward for picking us our new logo. So anyone out there, leverage AI, leverage ChatGPT, leverage the skill sets or people that you have. But let's find a logo that we all love, that we want to use, that we want to represent as we go out into the world to represent Grow. I'm going to come back and I'm going to end at the top here with just this closing thought. To build a decentralized system, to build a true network that can go and change a massive, massive industry. The food industry is one of the biggest industries in the world. And when you start talking about tracking, tracing that entire process, that entire supply chain, it's a really big lift. But we are doing it. We are on the precipice of some really, really big shifts, and the nature of the world, the state of the world is very well positioned for us to continue to go. But it takes little steps. I think of the quote, small hinges move really big doors. The small hinges are strengthening the network that we're building on. And so as we get people running nodes, setting up wallets, holding Grow in their account, what those 3 actions state is that's people raising their hand. And whether they're holding $5 of Grow or $1 million of Grow, it's they're raising their hand and they're saying, I believe that this new system is the one that can actually make this change over the next decade, the next 2 decades. And we're all at the beginning of that. And so if we want to see it go, if we want to look back 10 years from now and say, I was a part of that when it started, we have to take the steps today that actually move the needle. And those steps are the ones we described today. So I'm going to repeat those, and I'm going to challenge each and every one of us to, in the next 7 days, invite at least 5 people into the Grow account. It's going to take you 5 minutes. If every single one of us did that, and we did that every single week, the growth would be exponential. Then you teach those 5 people how to swap. And we're going to create a recorded video that we'll put in Discord on how to do that so that they can do it in 5 minutes. We do that, everything grows. So thank you all for being here. If you have questions, if you have things that you want answered, please put those in Discord. We will take those to the community calls. We will create content and we will bring those answers here, and we will answer and interact with you on the Discord. So thank you everyone for being here. I'm just reading some of the comments, but thank you all. Let's keep going. Let's make Grow the biggest blockchain in the world, and let's nourish the world.
Thanks, everyone.